Hello and welcome to the Indy Airstrip Attack, brought to you by the Indiana Corn Marketing Council, E85 and Unleaded 88. I'm Jimmy Shaberg, and this is the first day. We're just doing a little test here, a little taste, I should say, of half-mile racing live from Marion, Indiana. Beautiful out here. We have yet another sold-out event with multiple 2,000-plus horsepower cars battling it out all weekend. I can't even believe I'm going to say over 2,000 horsepower these days. We're likely going to see some records fall. The temperature here is perfect for that. And again, Mark Rao built Lamborghini STO, currently the fastest STO in the world at 258 and change. He's going for the record all weekend long. So you're going to want to tune in or stay tuned in and watch that. I would say we're going to get to some racing here in just a second. I got today's live stream, of course, is on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you for joining us, and a huge shout out to everyone who's watching the streaming service. This is a Revolution Shift Sector event. Today's broadcast is produced by Revolution and directed by none other than Jeffrey J. Hart. Also, this is live on Instagram for the very first time, so we're going to try that out. I'm pretty excited about that alone. Speaking of alone, that was Barry Malone in the background you just saw in a Z06. Barry's been bad fast, 164.9 so far, best. We call him president of the High Ram Club because, of course, he's got a hole cut in his hood. And that's what you need. I've got, sitting next to me, I've got world-famous Brooke Barini, the Alpha Princess herself. Brooke, why don't you say hi to everybody out in the world?
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
Absolutely.
Excited to be here.
Great to have you. I'm just more excited than even you are, so there's that. What do you think so far about our half-mile event?
Man, there are some fast cars here.
Well, I mean, you're definitely no slouch yourself. I mean, obviously, 180 plus, almost 190 in the quarter mile, for crying out loud. You getting ready to try the half mile stuff? You think 200 plus?
You know, I'm ready for 200 plus. I think it's calling my name.
I think it is definitely calling your name. We're excited to have you, and so make the changes you need to make, and let's get that Alpha Princess out here. I think people would love it. Of course, one of the things we're doing out here coming up, I got David Pitzer in the Viper GTS, 1900 horse. He's been a best at 211.9. A lot of fast Vipers out here. Of course, many of them are Calvo Vipers. I know we're both friends with Calvo. Shout out to him. I know his twins are on the way, which is why he's not physically here, but I'm sure mentally he's partway here. It's A.J. Rodman in the Huracan, 1800 horse next to David Pitzer in the GTS Viper. There you go, 214.0 miles an hour. Let's set the live stream up right. AJ Rodman, 208, side by side, 200 mile an hour passes. What do you think about that, Brooke?
That's crazy. You know, these Vipers still impress me every event, no matter what it is. Drag racing, half mile, these things are awesome.
They're really, really stable at speed for the most part. You know, you don't see a lot of craziness in the Vipers at speed, which I guess they're just kind of built for that. But nonetheless, you know, they're only rear-wheel drive, where, like, as an example, your GTR is all-wheel drive. Seems like a pretty good advantage to be all-wheel drive, but yet they're still hooking up. It's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of two-wheel drive or wrong-wheel drive, depending on what you want to say, I got a 1,620-horse Corvette on the starting line right now. It's been a best of 204.3. Sounds like he might be on traction control or breaking up. I'm not sure. Mile an hour for that will be coming up. Those of us joining at home online, appreciate you all being here. 200.00 miles an hour for Greg in the Corvette. Pretty cool, huh?
Man, these cars are so fast. How many 200 mile an hour side-by-side passes do you think you've seen here?
At this event today, so far 3, but I would say in my massive 10 years of doing this, believe it or not, probably close to 50.
Wow.
And when I say over 200, I mean like over 220, side by side.
Man, these cars impress me so much.
Well, let's get it out here. Come on now, Brooke. We got to get your GTR out here.
Gotta
on top of that,
field.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be ready to go for Abilene.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm pretty excited to hear about Abilene and Brooke Barini joining the the half-mile fun. I'm kind of excited about that. Hopefully you make that happen. I know your car is almost ready to do that, is what you were telling me.
Absolutely. Ready to go.
Nice. And of course, we got, you brought some of your lady friends.
Sure did. It's a girls' weekend here on the track.
Plus Phil.
Plus Phil. Someone had to supervise us.
Right. Why don't you kind of go over just some of the nice ladies that you brought?
Absolutely. So I brought a whole ton of my best friends with me. I got Sana over here. She's got a 1500 all-wheel horsepower Nissan GTR. She goes drag racing with me all the time. And
wait, no, I didn't want to interrupt you there, but I just wanted, so she actually officially has been faster than you in your GTR, right?
You know, now that you mention it, she has.
I'm taunting Brooke Barini to get out here and actually drive, so. So anyway, I'm doing everything I can to get Brooke Barini out here. And of course, I just had the world's fastest STO, Mark Rao, AZ Cycle Parts, just came sauntering over here. Again, he owns the STO world record at 258 and change. And of course, UGR built AZ Cycle Parts in the house. So thanks for joining the party. We're live. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook. And multiple other Twitch and multiple other deals. So.
Jimmy, speaking of AZ Cycle Parts, I really want to thank AZ Cycle Parts for having us out here, having a women's program. It's so awesome to have someone who believes in us and supports us. So thank you, AZ Cycle Parts, for all you've done for the women in the motorsports. Yeah,
huge shout out to Mark Rao and, of course, Fred, AZ Cycle Parts. Appreciate all the involvement, just in the half mile in itself, but let alone what you've done for, the females and in racing in general. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Excited to continue on and see what we have, in store. And we're, like I said, we're live right now, so we're doing a little testy test, I guess. It's kind of hard to see from my vantage point, but I think I think we might be on a track hold. I can't really tell. Brooke, you got any? We need binoculars out here.
I'm a little bit shorter than you. I don't think I can even see over that hill right there.
There's a hill? How tall are you, Brooke?
5 foot.
5 foot of fury. That is the new nickname right there. 5 feet of fury. That's perfect. That's probably what I'm going to do. Brooke Barini, 5 feet of fury in the GTR. See, I've already got it figured out.
And you're good at these nicknames.
I don't know. That might stick, so we better be careful. Yeah, minus my phone blows up. Somebody's listening at home. That's funny. All right, well, we're waiting right now. We just had Julian Bassler's beautiful stock STO do a 139.5. Of course, he's been at 152.3.
Completely stock.
It's completely stock.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brand new. I think it has less than 1,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Oh, 300 miles. Always breaking it in the right way.
That is the right way.
That is how you do it, for sure. So, we're just kind of... Well, I would agree with you, Mark. Yeah, Mark, your miles are much harder on your STO, and 100 plus miles an hour faster. Just throwing it out there. So, and if you consider that, right? I mean, 100. What would that be? 106 miles an hour faster.
Man,
that's crazy, isn't it? This is nuts. So I got Sean Trimarco out here in that beautiful Fox body, 2,000 horsepower. How he's keeping that thing level and down blows my mind. 2,000 horsepower in a Fox body on a half-mile airstrip. It's pretty impressive. It's already been at 189.8. I think I've called 190 and change. Might have been the fastest Fox body I've called actually out here. I know this is they did a whole bunch of new stuff on this car, and so they're testing some stuff out this weekend. 184.8 that time around. And again, I don't know what we have kind of going on in the starting line. Tony Reed, an 03 Corvette, coming up 680 horse, but a best of 171.7. That sounds about right. Uh-oh, we're going to have to get that looked at. Oh, there's some smoke. Hopefully they caught that on the cameras. You can see that at home. That thing was so fast it was smoking. Hey, lots of smoke. We need to get that looked at.
Copy there on it.
Thank you. Still went through the traps at 163.5. Smoking. So what is it you want to see, Brooke, in like coming to the half mile, your first event? Obviously your goal, I would imagine, is 200 miles an hour. And how much power does your car actually make that you can share with us anyway?
You know, we're making about 1650 all-wheel horsepower.
Only 1650.
Only 1650, you know, mid-power compared to some of these guys out here.
Yeah, but, you know, you're 5 feet of fury, so...
They call it driver mod.
Well, you got the driver mod because I physically have seen you drive amazing for years, so I would imagine that you've got kind of a one-up advantage over Mini just from your previous experience in the quarter mile. For one, just how to launch the car. You know what's going on. I've seen those 2 front wheels up. I'm no slouch. I get it.
You know, this kind of reminds me of the Hoonigan race. I did some Hoonigan racing over in San Luis Obispo. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's right. That was this versus that, right?
That's correct.
Nice.
Not quite a half mile, but a little unprepped surface.
Hadn't thought of that. It's a really good point. And are you glad that you did that?
Oh, I sure am. That was so fun. I mean, when do you ever get to say that you beat Travis Pastrana?
Yeah, not ever in my lifetime. So there's that.
He's a good sport.
He looks like a good guy. I've only met him once, and it was at one of the bars. But nonetheless, I'm glad that you did that. It was fun to watch. You can actually go back on Hoonigan.com, I believe. You can probably find that, right? I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Some good sports there. So you're thinking, what's your mile an hour? Just 200 miles an hour is what you...
No, I think that's a good starting goal, something achievable.
I think 1,650 horse in a GTR should get you over 200.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're probably 210 to somewhere in there.
I'm just ready for the 200 title. Anything that comes after that, you know, it's just icing on the cake.
Nice. Icing on the chrome pink cake, because that's what we'll have to do, right?
Absolutely.
Nice.
I don't know. I think that if I go 200 miles an hour, I should be able to pie Jimmy in the face.
Ah, wow. Because you're an instant 200 mile an hour of 5 feet of fury. So there's that. So I don't know if I want to agree to that, because that's going to be your first hit, guaranteed. I just know it. Nice try though. Let's make it more interesting.
You know, I had to try.
How about 210 and a pie to the face?
You know what? I'll even give you 212. That's going to be the number, 212.
212. Okay, so if you don't hit 212, what happens to you?
You get to pie me in the face.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm going to pie Brooke Barini in the face.
Except you won't, because I'm definitely going 212.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be egging you on to do that. So, and hopefully it's, hopefully it happens on like the first pass, and I could just get that out of the way, because I don't want to have pie on my face for the whole weekend.
I'm going to have to find a good pie maker in Abilene.
Oh, we're going to do this in Abilene.
We'll make it special.
Okay, all right.
I'll bring the pie.
Oh, Mark's going to bring the pie, so...
Mark, are you going to cook that pie, bake it all by yourself in the oven?
I'll fill it with some like neon coloring.
I love that. Jimmy's going to be stained all weekend.
Oh, that'll be great, because, I'm going to be wearing one of AZ Cycle Parts shirts that he supplied me, so that'll be perfect. But we'll frame it afterwards. What do you think? Yeah, I think it'll be great. I think that's a great idea. Let's do it.
Absolutely. All right.
High five packed. All right, we're doing it for sure. Right now, we're trying to get that. There was a little smoke show, so we're getting that sorted out just for everybody at home. Anybody here that probably doesn't know that's what we're doing. I got the one-arm bandit, Clint Sweet. He's coming up in his GT500. Wesley in the Challenger, 162.4. And then, of course, Clint has 154.5. I know he's been sorting out some tuning challenges that has been 180, I want to say. I think I called him Kansas. So.
Jimmy, something I'm really enjoying is there's a lot of diversity with all these cars. Usually when I go to events, it's usually just imports, but there's a lot of domestics here.
Boy, that whole front of that car was way up, and then it went down as soon as he let out. That was crazy. The one-armed bandit getting it done, mile an hour. Coming up, not sure what's going on. Not sure what's going on there with the Mopar, but Clint, there it is, 180.2. Knew he was on a good boil. I called it. But yeah, the diversity here is great. You got everything from a Nismo GTR to, you know, a 69 Nova. I mean, it's pretty much any, all, and everything.
It's pretty cool. I saw a new Supra, an old Supra.
Yeah, that's right, because we got Will Smith. He's slapping people around out here in his Supra, so that's good.
The true, real Will Smith is out here.
No, he's not out here, but a gentleman named Will Smith is, and he's a good sport, so... Scott Rogers, there you go. There's a prime example. A 69 Mustang Boss 302. When did you think you would see that out here? And then Steve Ulrich in a ZL1 Camaro. He went 153.5. Scott in the Boss 302, 137.0. So yeah, quite a diversity out here. Just some craziness. And I don't know. What's you're going to say GTR, and I'm not even going to ask you. I was going to ask you what your favorite car is, Brooke, but I'm just not going to ask because she's going to say GTR.
Against popular belief, I'm really liking these V10s more and more each event. I'm really liking the V10s.
You heard it here first. There it is.
You're a bad influence, Mark.
Out there, we got Laura Kuntz in that BMW M4. Laura has already been a 138.5. Yet another female in motorsports. Gotta love that. So Laura's mile an hour this time around for the crime done is 141 too. So new best, I believe. Yep,
Laura
that is a new
Kuntz.
best. Yeah.
BMW M4, 141 miles per hour.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
You got to think that's relatively stock too. So there's that. And then we got Ryan Scholler, I guess, in a Camaro SS, but a best of 141. Oh. Glenn Griffiths GT500, but a best of 168.7. So Brooke, we got a little Mustang on Camaro crime. Does appear to be fueled by the Indiana Corn Marketing Council E85 conglomerate of awesome fuels out here, by the way. 143.1 for Ryan in the Camaro. I haven't got Glenn's mile an hour yet, but he was moving. He went right around the outside. 165 too.
It's nice to see some other rivalries other than V6 versus V10.
Right?
Yeah.
There's still plenty of V6 versus V10 stuff out here. Big call out to ETS to bring out the silver car. Did I say that out loud? I did, didn't I? I would love to see the car out here. Lucas English again driving it. It'd be amazing. That was a lot of fun back in the day.
I would love to see that.
255, Lucas at the helm. So 255 is still not as fast as Mark Rao's STO at 258, but still in the mix, right? So I think that'd be a great matchup. I think I'd love to see that.
I would love to see that.
Fact, yeah, the 250 mile an hour mark in the half mile, I think there, if I'm not mistaken, there's 5 of you. Maybe, is it 6?
6.
Yeah, I was close. In the world that have been 250 plus miles an hour, and you are the second. I think it was Casey, right? Yep.
Wow.
So Casey Howarth with 259.99 and the Drag 965 UGR Lambo, and then Mark Rao 258 and change in his STO, which also makes him the fastest STO in the world in the half mile. So
Jimmy, I tell you, I can't wait to see that car run this weekend.
I'm so excited I can hardly breathe. Are you kidding me? Every single run is pretty much on the.
Getting ready for ideal conditions tomorrow.
Oh, Mark says he's getting
there's
it
the
ready.
update. I was afraid to ask.
Dialing it in.
I know it's from the UGR camp, so I generally wait until I'm informed before I ask questions. So, wow, dialing it in, huh? Well, how did it feel out there today, Mark? I know right off the trailer you did well over 230 just on a little baby warm-up pass. We were expecting 200, 210 because that's what you told me, and then you just go rip off a 230 plus like it was Tuesday. How's the car feeling?
Feels great. We're just dialing in. We're trying to get a little harder off the line and bottom end and dial that in.
Nice.
Good. Dialing it in.
To the mile an hour. Well, I'm not surprised. If anybody can do it, it's definitely you. And like I said, every single pass, I got my fingers crossed, my toes crossed. Brooke's got her hair
Crossed.
in ponytails crossed. We're all rooting for you.
We
so.
sure are.
I mean, I
Very
flew all the
excited
way.
to see
Yeah, I flew all the way from Oregon to see this. So, I think that I will, since Brooke is 5 feet of fury, I probably will beat her over there.
It was me that convinced her. So.
Oh man, now we're gonna start fighting over here, all of us.
He gonna go there. That's what just happened.
I throw my cards on the table.
Well, you know what? I do.
Welcome, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you is what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you.
I met Mark for 5 minutes. He's like, "Hey, you're coming to Marion, Indiana, right?" "Yeah, you are." "All right, I'll see you there." And here I am.
See, and aren't you glad, right? I mean, obviously, once again, you know, pushing the female racing envelope, I think, is important, and I think it's awesome of you two to team up and you know, shed more light on what I think is something that's really cool. Like, it's real personal to me. So I appreciate you both being here. And matter of fact, speaking of which, it looks like I see Kennedy Marlowe and another UGR R8, but I believe Kennedy's driving the blue Lambo. So that's going to be awesome.
You know, Jimmy, it's not only awesome to have all these women out here, but it's awesome to bring up the next generation of racers, car enthusiasts. It's awesome to see all these young kids here who love to get involved.
I think, you know, that's our future, right? And one of the reasons why I try to keep everything PG is I like to joke about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, the kids are where it's at, right?
Absolutely.
You make good memories with your kids out here, and you come back. And the thing is, there's no safer place to do something like this than you know, out here on an airstrip. Even safer, and I no knock on quarter mile stuff at all, but way safer than a lot of the quarter mile stuff because we don't have walls. So when you flat spin or whatnot, and you know, the hope is that you don't do that, but when you do, and you're, you know, we just watched Todd Nall spin at 140 miles an hour and never touch grass, and he was completely reversed for probably 200 feet.
Took off his gas cap because, like you said, Porsche isn't rated to have a gas cap on going reverse 140 miles an hour.
Yeah, for some reason they did that test. It must not have passed because it flew off at some point. But yeah, so we got Kennedy Marlowe. She's coming up, and I believe that's going to be, she's driving the blue R8.
Now, how fast has Kennedy gone before? Do you remember, Jimmy?
It's been 220 now.
Wow.
Yeah, 220 already.
That's moving.
21. Okay,
21.
I couldn't remember. I've been saying all over the map because I couldn't remember. So hopefully Kennedy doesn't throw a pie in my face. But yeah, Kennedy Marlowe, 21 years old. So,
amazing.
And I believe she's probably, has she made 10 hits yet overall? Probably close, right?
Yeah. Probably like 8 to 10.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
I think the second hit was 200, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's impressive. So, you know, she's coming up, and I believe she's in the. Yeah, that's fact. Yeah, I mean, Tag's an amazing guy, and obviously a great father. So good to see that. Speaking of fast Porsches, like we just were, there's Dave Briggs. That looked fast to me. He definitely had his foot stuck to the back of the headlight. That Porsche 911 Turbo is bad fast, 1,500 horse. What's that mile an hour going to be? You got a bunch of fast stuff coming up. You're not going to want to go anywhere on our live stream or obviously here in person. There you go, 212.46 miles an hour right off the trailer, Dave. Way to go, buddy. That's a fast Porsche. You don't see a lot of those. You don't see a lot of those in the quarter mile anymore, I'm imagining.
So, Jimmy, that's an AIM Porsche. They're coming from New Jersey. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Far trip.
Yeah, they make it pretty much every event. Well, every one of these events over here. And guess what? We got Kennedy Marlowe in the Audi R8 GT UGR build. I got another Marlowe owned STO. I'm not sure who's driving. I know it's not Tag. Not sure who's driving that one, but Kennedy, 21 years old, probably on her 10th pass, already over 200 in the Audi R8 GT right now. Talk about foot stuck to the back of the headlight. I can't see the R8. I'm not sure where it's at. Oh, right there. Okay. Probably didn't like the launch sequence, but 211 for the STO. Still running good. Everything's going well. Probably, once again, didn't like the launch sequence. It's always difficult to once you kind of start and you're going for an over 200-mile-an-hour pass, sometimes it's best just to back out, run around, and do it again, because if you don't get it right at the beginning, you can't make it up in some cases. I mean, I would imagine she'll be much faster. She was 220 and change, I think, on her last pass in a different car, no less, but a couple bad, fast UGR-built Lambos and R8s. I got this, speaking of fast and electric cars, maybe he got a full charge in it again, but he went 178 on his first pass, 179.2 on his second pass. That happened to be his fastest. And then Brandon Swan GTR. Speaking of GTR, that's right up your.
It sure is.
Yeah, with a 161.3 with 700 horse, which that's about right, I think, for that car and that horsepower. So that's right in line. So Brandon's driving the wheels off of it. And
now, tell me, Jimmy, how do you feel about these EVs in the races?
Well, you know, I like to race anything. So if it's got a steering wheel and some type of a motor, I'm a fan, me personally. But, you know, I'm an ICE motor guy. So for me, I like the sound. I would say that thing sounds like a spaceship, which is kind of cool.
It did sound like a spaceship.
And it's fast, so that's cool too. So I've got respect for that. It's not my personal favorite choice, but once again, I'll call it because I like it. And 179 miles an hour is definitely fast, so kind of impressed by that.
Pretty impressive for a car that you could buy right out of the dealership, change nothing.
Yeah, change nothing other than you got to charge it in between each pass. That seems like a lot of work for me. It's too hard to plug it in.
Don't worry, we got plenty of diesel generators over there to plug it into.
And that's how that goes, I think. So 178.08 for that pass. Brandon in the GTR with 154.5. Now I got fifth Jennifer Harper in her Camaro. 154.3 best so far. Looks like going up against. That's one of Julian Bassler's Lamborghinis. I believe that's the one you're going to drive, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see what it did for time.
Well, you know, here is mile an hour. Time is quarter mile.
See, this is a big transition for me.
It is, I know. I'm here to help. So we got Tom Espo coming up. Julian Bassler right there with a 193.7. Jennifer with a 151.8. Yep, not bad.
Think I can go faster?
I think you can go faster. I don't want to pie in the face, but I think you can go faster. I think you can go 200 in that car. Tom Espo coming up in the STO, been at 197.5. Is he going to go 200? He's got 1,400 horsepower to make it happen. We got Julian Bassler, one of his other Lamborghinis. I know you're hearing me say that a lot, but he's got quite a few. Of course, Tom's another UGR-built Lambo, looking for 200. There it is, 202.43 miles an hour.
Impressive.
Tom's going to love that. Beautiful Lambo. I know he's been looking for that 200 anything. Julian with a 149.000, not quite 200. And Tom with a 200.43. Got to like that. I don't know. I think maybe a purple Lambo should be the next thing, Brooke.
Purple one?
Yeah, I think purple.
I'm thinking pink.
I mean, you could pink wrap one. Yeah, that's right, because you've had multiple pink cars, right?
I have.
Was it 2 or 3?
2. 3, actually. Yeah, I had a
It
truck
is 3?
too. Yeah.
Was it one of them a Miata? Second one, I don't know. What was the second one?
I had a truck.
A truck?
820. Naturally aspirated diesel.
Well, how do you have a naturally aspirated diesel?
No turbo.
Really?
Yeah.
They make those?
Yeah.
Wow.
Old
I had no
military
idea.
vehicle.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Was it cool or?
It was slow. It was very slow.
It was very slow.
Cool.
On a scale of 1 to Brooke Barini, it was a 2 as far as.
Speaking of purple Lambos.
Right? Isn't that thing gorgeous?
That stow is beautiful.
Right? That thing's just gorgeous. And Tom just went 202.4, so Jeremy Reed snuck in there with an M3 comp at 150.5. Daniel on the Z06 with a 149.9er. Now
Love to see the BMWs.
We usually have quite a few. Those and a lot of AMG Mercedes. I haven't seen any today, but I know there's some registered for the weekend. So there's Julian's beautiful stock STO with 300 miles on it. Breaking it in the right way. Hopefully Lamborghini North America is not watching this. He's got the I just broke it in tune. 148.4 for Julian. Caleb in the ZL1, not there yet, don't know. Hopefully everyone at home's having a good time. Nothing's changing on my computer screen. That's why I
Another quick BMW. I should say fast.
That was Ryan Doka in the M340i, 140.01 miles an hour, and then birthday boy Brendan Doolittle in his Fox body. Haven't got the mile an hour yet. Been a best of 137 and change, so. Pretty quick.
They sure are.
135.8. So I got Marisol Buchanan in the AMG GT up against Chad Buchanan in the Range Rover SV. Chad's been at 131. Marisol in the beautiful AMG. Like I was saying, there's a lot of AMGs
There
that do
sure
come out
are.
here.
And you know, about that Range Rover, he has been making a lot of passes today.
Yeah.
He's been having a great time.
He is having a good time. Who knows? He might even have a whole bunch of friends. I heard rumors that you're going to take the free candy van out for a spin.
Oh, you know, I don't know if everyone listening knows about the free candy
I don't
van
think
yet.
they do. I think it might be time to let them all in on it.
Well, we may have brought a van instead of a normal rental car. It's actually a Ford Transit 2022 wagon. Fits 15. And I think if we get enough endorsement, maybe we can load it up and take it down the strip.
Anybody want to see that? Just chime into the live stream chat here on Facebook if you want to see that. Brooke, will you be driving it?
I will be, and not only will I be driving it, but I'm also going to be passing out free candy.
All right, copy that. Just getting some direction here as we get going. There we go. Now I can see the live stream. I couldn't see it in my, for some reason, in my vantage point because, well, I just couldn't, but here you go. I got Daniel Bartram, Z06, Jeremy reading that M3 comp you see right there.
Man, I'm really liking those BMWs.
Maybe that's your next thing.
Maybe. They're pretty quick.
There they are on the launch pad. You can see our grid girl right there getting ready to line them up. Daniel with that C8 Z06 hard launch. Like I said, those cars seem to do about 150-ish if they're stockish. Not a lot of modded Z06s out there yet. But, you know, back to your free candy van. You know, I went to move it because I didn't have the vantage point I wanted, and I noticed that the seat was all the way up. So you're definitely going to have to drive it because, yeah, that's 5 feet of fury. That there's nobody going to get around that, you know, seat placement. So just saying. Oh, there's the shift sector taxi. What is that sticker on the side? What is that?
A sloth? Is that a sloth?
I don't know why he has that on there,
I don't
but
know either.
He does. It is the Indiana Corn Marketing Council. He's waving at everybody at home. You can see him right there on your camera. Not sure what he's doing. That's Mark Bayless, by the way, which I believe we've ordered 500 Taco Bell tacos tomorrow, I believe.
I'm hoping you put a couple in extra for me, right?
Well, you know, I was trying for, you know, all the ladies. Got to do that. And the reason for that, of course, Brooke, is because I told him if he actually met his goal, I would buy him Taco Bell. And so 3 years later, he met his goal. And I'm not teasing, I'm being serious. I thought it was cool. So as the MC, we've been egging him on for a long time, much like you coming to a half-mile event. And look, you're finally here. And Mark finally got his. And it isn't in this BMW. It was in his Hellcat. So anyway, that's the story behind that.
Making all sorts of things happen, Jimmy.
Well, I don't know about that. Again, that was kind of a team effort with Mark Rouse. So I don't want to steal any thunder. That wouldn't be good. I'm not a thunder stealer. Look at that unleaded 88. Indiana Corn Marketing Council. They're up on the launch pad right now. That's Tom Sutton in the M3. Tom's been at 140. Grid girl about ready to light them up.
that SUV is quick.
I think it's a X5M, if I'm not mistaken. If it was an X5 diesel, then you would see a plume of black behind it. But it looks like the other BMW Tom's going to go around the outside, but it took him a bit, didn't it?
It did.
Mile an hour coming up, both them probably pretty close. Looks like he got the AMG and the Range Rover back. Mark with a 130 and a 141 for the M3, so the X5 was a little slower for sure. Got Marisol and Chad Buchanan. Something tells me they're related. I think I just heard another UGR car head to the starting line, so you're not going to want to miss that.
So Jimmy, we gonna have you in the back of the candy van, or?
Yeah. I mean, you can take me in the back of the candy van, sure.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
And then are they going to call me the Candy Man? Because
They
isn't there a
can.
song? Yeah, isn't there a song there somewhere? Absolutely, I'll rock the back of that bad boy. Are you kidding me? Marisol, 150.1. Pretty good there. Chad with a 130.55 in the big SUV. That thing weighs like 8,000 pounds, I think.
I don't know if anyone's having more fun than the Buchanans right now.
No, they're having all the fun.
They are.
Yeah, they're having all the fun. That's fact. There's our birthday guy right there in the Fox body. He's got a little wang on the back of it. Oh, it's right there. You can see it.
Oh, you're right.
Of course, it's a great shot right there from our camera crew. Brennan Castro up against Brennan Doolittle. There's a joke floating around on there somewhere. Castro with a 162.6. Doolittle with a 136.99 on his birthday. Look at this beautiful old Boss 302, all the patina. All the patina. That's Scott Rogers, then we got Rami Swan. Talk about old against new. We got the Tesla. This is called Simonize. Yeah, for those at home that probably don't know, Simonize was basically it's an old version of ceramic coat. So yeah, there's your tidbit for the day.
You're showing your age, Jimmy.
I heard a little. Just saying. Rami Swan with a 173.9, still going fast. That is a new best for Rami, as a matter of fact. Scott with a 139.9. Yeah, one of the reasons that we all stopped talking at the launch pad so you can hear the cars launch. Otherwise, it's just a whole mess of can't hear us, and you want to hear the car anyway. So that's why we pause when we're letting the cars eat, basically. Speaking of eating, it looks like Jeff Rick in a Panamera hybrid. 5th gen right there. I didn't have her in my queue, but there she is. Looks like 5th Gen has put her vehicle car top down. I don't know if that made any mile an hour difference, but
Getting envious of these convertibles. I wonder what 150 miles per hour in a convertible feels like.
There's one way to find out. Yeah, there's multiple ways to find out here. There's a couple R8s, I think. Well, look at that, 147, so it slowed down 7 miles an hour. I don't know if it's related or not, but Jeff Rick pretty much went the same speed, 140.6, so not sure what we got going on here. It looks like we've got Underground Racing Audi R8 on the queue. I don't have it in my screen yet. Car 38 there. Every single time one of these UGR cars come out, you just never know. I know that car's been bad fast. So I'll wait for it to pop up here on my screen before I announce exactly whose it is, but I do know it's a UGR built car. Great shots from our drone and camera crew. Hopefully you're enjoying all that at home. That's Tag Marlowe right there. Here we go. Looks like he's on a good pass. Definitely a fast one. He got out of it at the very, very end. Not sure why. Mile an hour will definitely reflect that. Car's been 241.6. That time 211.67. So 241.6, I believe, is our fastest mile an hour of the event so far in a UGR built Lamborghini. Sorry, in this case, R8. Boy, I'm getting tired today. Woo! Y'all have me out too late. Got Eric coming up in the Viper, Kenneth in the R8. Kenneth been 221 to Eric's 152 in the Viper, so be curious to see how that's going to play out here. Well, he's not wasting any time. Went right around that Viper. He's on a boil for sure. I believe that's a Sissio car, if I'm not mistaken. There it is, 226.24 miles an hour for Kenneth in the R8. Viper just now making it through the traps of the 146.4.
Now, Jimmy, what do you know about these Vipers taking the wing off? Does that help with aerodynamics?
Well, it would definitely maybe potentially add some mile an hour at the expense of less rear traction, for sure. What I've noticed, though, is it seems to end up, they don't end up going faster because they lose that much traction. So, but it's definitely something you'd want to try if you're, probably don't have the 2,000 Calvo horsepower type of deal. You definitely would want that downforce. I've seen it, and I definitely would want it. The Buchanans, like you said, they're just having a good old time out here.
The best time.
And right now, I mean, Marisol can be like, yo, your Rover's slow. So there's that. But you got to like that.
It's couples goals over here.
Yeah, couples goals.
Couples
I like
goals.
it. Yeah. I think that's a fantastic way to spend your time. I would love that. You can see at the bottom of your screen there some of our fastest mile an hour of the day. We're just getting started, obviously, day one of a 3-day event. This is just a tease of what is to come for tomorrow and obviously Sunday. Looks like we got another bike coming back against, I'm not sure why it's not on my screen there, but we got a bike in what appears to be a Panamera.
Looks like a Tesla, Jimmy.
I can't tell. I mean, good thing you're here because I'm unsupervised right now and I get scary.
Where's Phil? He needs to supervise.
Yeah, where did Phil go? We didn't even notice. Too many fun things to do. Where's Phil? I don't know. This is Dustin. He's looking for 200 anything on the bike. The way he went around that Tesla, he might have got it. We're waiting here for the mile an hour.
Wow, he was close.
Yeah, 196.9. Missed it by that much. Close, though. You know he's looking for 200, Brooke. You know he is. And then we got Bob. Bob here in the Tesla Model S. Just everything's been over 174 miles an hour. Multiple passes. Crazy. 178.3 that time. You can see a great view right there. That's our pit area. Once again, this is just a little tease for what's coming up this weekend, tomorrow, and the next day. Rami Swan and another Tesla, been a 173.9 up there on the launch pad. Brendan Castro in the Hellcat. Great news is you're going to see our 4 o'clock finals, which is always a good time. I'll get all that information here as soon as it's given to me. $172.2 for the Plaid, Brennan with a 164.2. Like I said, you can see the beautiful camera angle. This is our drone footage there. We got some amazing drone operators that oversee a lot of the filming, and we got a couple up on big, huge lifts. I feel like we're out in the middle of a cornfield, but I'm not 100% sure. Is it?
Looks like soybeans, Jimmy.
Is it soybeans?
Looks like soybeans.
Well, I can't tell because across the way, does that look like corn, or is that just soybeans? I don't want to be corny or anything, but...
Oh, my God. Great dad joke.
I'm here all weekend. Oh, I only get 9 more. They just whispered in my ear. 164.2 for Brennan. Rami Swan in the Plaid for 172.2. Oh my goodness, I was just told that I get unlimited GTRs. Oh, you've all been right.
I don't know. I might have to personally put a cap on that.
What, you don't like that or Fancy Datsun?
You're something else, Jimmy.
Scott Rogers out there, that beautiful Boss 302, 141.1 best. Out there just letting that Cleveland-headed beast sing. 140.1, definitely been consistent. Like I said, that airstrip pretty stunning when you look down the airstrip. It's definitely a lot different than kind of a narrow, quarter mile
It sure
type.
is. It's nice to have a lot of space.
Yeah. Well, a lot of room for activities, right?
Oh, yeah.
So good, bad, or indifferent. As long as you don't touch grass, you're usually pretty good. But
Hey, touching grass is better than touching a wall.
can be, or in like Antonio Calvo's situation, a lot of cars when they touch grass, that's why we have the safety equipment that we require. I mean, they can go airborne, and things can happen. The last thing you want to do is touch grass or anything, or a wall for that matter. But there's
Let's
a lot
keep
of
it on
room.
the pavement.
Yeah, let's keep it on the pavement with all tires down. Another rocket ship Tesla, Peter, in his Plaid, been a best of 173.7. Somebody asked me last time, why is there a 2.2 on that on the airstrip? Like, is there 22, landing areas? I don't think so, but maybe it's just somebody's favorite number. I don't know.
Jimmy, someone asked you last time and you still don't have the answer?
I don't have the answer. I couldn't find it. No one could tell me. So I asked everyone. I spent hours of research on this, and I couldn't find it. Yeah. I feel like I let somebody down. Andrew Wydell in the Corvette on the launch pad there. Love that angle. Of course, we're coming up here on the finals. This will be your first finals, Brooke, in a half mile anyway. So I think we're going to be live for that, hopefully. Get a chance to see that. Be kind of fun.
What do you mean when you say finals?
So semifinals, finals, so basically the whole weekend we have a competition. And it's basically, first 4, advance next 2, and then so on and so on. And it's fastest in each class. I'll go over the classes here in a little bit. Right here you got that BMW, the one that you like. Jeremy Reed, I believe. .55 best so far. But anyway, we'll go through, like, there's ethanol class, there's rear-wheel drive, there's stick shift class, which seems to be the class that's fading most, but certainly dominated by, I would say, Corvettes at this point. There's all-wheel drive, unlimited. There's quite a few classes, E85 class. So, like I said, we'll get into all that as we drop through. It'll be kind of fun. This is where, when you were asking me how many side-by-side over 200 mile an hour, there's been exciting one I ever saw by a long shot was actually with someone we just called and wished him happy birthday. That was a long time ago, but it was pretty exciting because it was a shop runoff and against Miles and Aaron, which is the tuner over at English. And Civic, it was Honda against Honda. Aaron did 199.98 miles an hour, and Miles ended up, he had some challenges and met the challenges and ended up, I think, at 203.
Wow.
And it was just a lot of fun to watch, you know what I mean? Plus, you know, known those guys for a long time, and so a lot of emotions flying around then. I do see that we got some fast stuff coming up. All right, so we got Tyler Mixon. We're going to notify fire and tow. Obviously, it's going to be a fast pass. Tyler Mixon, UGR, Lambo. This is your finals. They're going to do solo pass because they want the same lane. So right now we got Tyler Mixon, 2,000 horse. He's already been 230.06 miles an hour. Obviously, this is the finals for this. You can see it right there on your screen, that beautiful green Lambo. So we're going to run them separately, solo. We have alerted fire and tow and safety. Yep. Never know with these cars. So here we go. We got them all ready. Fire and safety's been alerted. Tyler Mixon on the launch pad. Remember, top mile an hour wins. He's definitely in it. Wow, that looked fast. Mile an hour for Tyler coming up. You're not going to want to miss that. What is it going to be? I'm waiting for it. There's a little delay on my screen. Wait for it. Still waiting. There you go. 246.58 miles an hour. Tyler Mixon, UGR, in the house. What do you think about that, Brooke?
That is incredible.
I'd say that's going to be a little tough to beat. 246.5. We got Sunir in the Audi R8. This is his competitor right here. They wanted the same lane, so they're going for the same prize. Of course, Sunir with a 213.6. Sunir, good guy.
Sunir representing AMS. Let's see how he does.
That's right. He's on a good pass. It looks good. He did everything he could do. That mile an hour coming up. Is it going to be better than Tyler's? You'd have to find almost 30 miles an hour. Sunir with a 211.76 mile an hour run. That makes him runner-up right there. Good job, Sunir. You know where the restrooms are. So we got Tyler with a 246.5 and a win. Sunir runner-up, 211.76. Great job. I think we just have another regular half-mile race here. Jeremy Reed in the M3 Comp, Andrew Wydell in the Corvette. Mile an hour coming up on these two. There they are. They're just having a really good time out there, aren't they?
You know, Jimmy, I can't get enough of the Buchanans.
That's right. They're all over. They're all over this half-mile stuff.
Now I see she dropped the top. Maybe we'll get some more mile an hour here.
It's always one of my favorite things. Andrew with a 161.9, Jeremy 153.3. Drop top Buchanan AMG 152.3 best. Chad in the big SUV 131.0. Marisol is just having a good old time, top, up, or down. Still going faster than husband, 146.3 that time. Chad, we're still waiting for him to get through the traps there so we can get a mile an hour. I think he got to looking at the drop top. Don't have a mile an hour yet. It's a 2024 Range Rover SE, probably less than 2,000 miles. He's out here beating on it. I love it. Julian Basser's car, 640 horse. He has 2 white Huracans out here. Chris Graves' Lamborghini Huracan. Oh, sorry. They popped that in my screen. That's not what that was. That's Jordan Adams' Challenger. My bad. Lambo with the launch. Jordan getting out of the big side, not sure why. Jordan, though, with a 129.1, Julian with a 150.0. My goodness. Who do we have up next? Oh, there you go. There's Laura Kuntz back in that M4. Been a best of 141.2. That's good, right?
Love to see it.
Me too. I think we lost all the other ladies.
Jimmy, you scared him away.
I did. That happens all the time. It has to be me. What did I do? Although Nick just showed up, so it could have been him.
Very well could have.
So that's Laura right there in that M4, mile an hour coming up. I'd say smiles an hour. No, that'd be the Buchanan's, which you can see right there. 137.1 right there for Laura in that M4. Got Dustin in the Ninja H2 coming up against Bob in the Tesla track plaid. Dustin's really looking for that 200 anything, Brooke. Bob in the Tesla at 179, so he's probably looking for a 178. They stayed side by side there for a long time. Mile an hour coming up.
Talk about diversity. I love seeing these bikes racing with the cars.
It is fun, huh? Kind of a unique thing here in half-mile racing. Don't see that a lot. Love seeing it. I've seen side-by-side bike and Lambo 200 before too, which is pretty crazy. That's crazy is what it is. Like, so Dustin, 199.6. He just almost there. Bob with a 176.8. The Tesla. Got Julian's 2 Lambos. All right. Well, of course, I got Brooke Marini here. One of the things I want to talk about Brooke, or talk with Brooke about. I'm kind of excited that we're going to be, we're going to be doing this. I'm going to have Brooke Marini, probably have her out in the pits doing some interviews, and obviously by me. And I've got some of her amazing friends that are going to help out as well. It sounds like. So I tell you, Brooke, I'm really appreciative that you brought all the ladies out. And don't forget, tomorrow and Sunday is our. This is our major live stream, right? So it's going to be a really big deal. It's a big production for everyone at home, which we have home viewers right now. And so, we want to reach out to them and let them know that this is just a little taste, if you will, and that tomorrow and Sunday are just going to be the big days as far as what we do and what you ladies are going to bring to the table and what that looks like. So really excited that, you're all here to join in on that fun. I can't thank all of you enough, and Phil, to come down and hang out.
Thank you for having us, Jimmy. We're excited to be here. We can't wait to go hang out with everyone, do some cool things in the pits, maybe do some foot races, maybe do some pit vehicle races.
Yeah, you had a great idea there, and I definitely want to capitalize on that. So if you're watching our live stream right now and you're excited to tune in tomorrow and Sunday, let us know some of the stuff you want to see, right? One of the things that would be helpful would be, hey, we're thinking about doing some female against male, like foot races or some things right here, and obviously we can do that in our downtime as we go. You just never know. Things always happen on, it's racing, right? On an airstrip, we land planes. We are in an active airstrip, obviously. I want to remind everybody at home that that's the case. It's not something that a lot has talked about, but we are their guests. We are in an active airstrip, and I've even landed or helped land a bunch of friends' planes here, over the years. So we don't want to forget that. And Brooke, you have some great ideas. I love it. I think we should do some of that stuff. We'll have some prizes. Maybe we'll even throw out some prizes for people watching at home. So you're definitely not going to want to miss, the live stream tomorrow and Sunday. And obviously we'll get Brooke and her friends here up on camera, which you're not going to want to miss that. I tell you, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm just kind of hanging out here with everyone and Phil, and and I would say Phil and I are the two luckiest guys at the event right now. That's just my perspective, but nonetheless, it's going to be a good time. You're not going to want to miss it. And obviously, this will be. This will be your first time at a half-mile event, so we're going to knock it out of the park so you come back and obviously bring all your amazing friends. And what kind of other ideas were you tossing around for maybe some fun activities?
Jimmy, before we get into that, I kind of want to know, you got to give me some more background of all this half-mile racing. So what can you tell me? Can you give me any tips or tricks?
Tips or tricks? Like in what perspective?
So...
like how to drive, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. I can't say what we shouldn't do.
Who should I be looking out for? What cars, what shops? I want to know all the details.
All the deets. Well, we have some amazing shops here, as you know, and you know many of them, all right? And unfortunately, Calvo himself's not here, but obviously Ninjineering Colin, he's here, which is super fortunate. Hopefully they did find that transmission jack that they needed. But, we'll definitely have some conversations with Colin and some of the vehicles. I know Jack Gill is here. I call him Jaddy, but he goes by Jack Gill. And anyway, he's got the General Lee Viper. It's pretty cool. So I know that's something they're getting ready to get back out on the airstrip. So that'll be a lot of fun. You're not going to want to miss that. That car makes like almost 3,000 horsepower.
That is crazy.
I know. And
a lot of heavy hitters here.
Everybody's swinging. This is the event that you're not going to want to miss tomorrow and the next day. This is the event. Everyone swings for the fences. And the reason for that, Brooke, is because the traction and the weather is always good for that type of possibility, right? So we're keep in mind, we're on a no prep situation here. There's zero prep on an airstrip. Zero. None. So it's kind of hard to hook up, but you can imagine all that horsepower, right? So tuners come and play, obviously. Driver mod's huge, but just imagine hooking up, 2,000 plus horsepower on a non-prepped surface.
That sounds crazy.
It's certain tires work better than others, and certain tires work differently on different cars. I mean, it's a whole game of that. And over the years, I've seen a lot of different things. I've seen pro mods come out here. Larry Webb comes to mind, on a 4,500 horsepower pro mod, beautiful car. I wouldn't drive it around the block. I'd be too scared to because it was perfect. And he would come out here, and he finally got over 200 miles an hour, and it took literally 3 or 4 events.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you're talking about a car that, you know, is making twice as much horsepower as the fastest car out here. But again, set up for something that's prepped, right?
It's all about laying it down.
It's all about laying it down, right? You got to lay it down. You got to lay it down to play it down. So for sure, you know, some of those tips I would say, you know, look for obviously Underground Racing's got a good program with traction and
I've
horsepower.
heard they have some real fast cars here on the property.
Still, you know, the world record holder at 259.99. Of course, Casey Howarth, one of the brothers owners, piloted that. Before that, obviously, we had Giddy Chomdy. I want to say he did 257, I want to say, which was pretty impressive. And then
Also in a UGR car?
Same car, yeah, in the same car,
Amazing.
actually.
In the same car.
Yeah, in the Drag 965 car. And so, of course, everybody knows Giddy Chomdy in the GTR world, and should, because he's definitely helped push the needle.
Icon.
Yeah, helped, if not helped, certainly pushed the needle, I would say.
Absolutely.
You know, first to Mini for Giddy. Giddy's here with May, so shout out to them. And so, you know, look for things like that. I would say, you never know. I mean, I like to call out the underdog. I think that's a lot of fun sometimes. Look for somebody who's, you know, slowly advancing and doing things, and maybe they're here by themselves. They don't have all that support.
Can you give me a couple of those kind of people?
Yeah, there's a couple out here. You know, there's actually multiple out here, and we'll go over that tomorrow in the live stream, because I don't know what days they're registered, but that's going to be a good time. I think that's something fun that we can do for, you know, our fans at home and whatnot. And I think one year in Pikes Peak, we actually took a guy who was driving a Subaru in the half mile that was stock, not joking.
Really?
Yep. And we ended up making a cold air kit out of some Pringles cans, and I'm not making this up.
You're kidding.
No, I'm dead serious. And he had more cheers when he finally broke 100 miles an hour in the half mile in this Subaru that he drove there. And he always wanted to race. He had more, I think Clete McFarlane invited him over to some place and had him over for like a weekend or something, and it was all because we just took someone that, you know, was really trying hard, and it didn't matter that he was only going 98 miles an hour, but everybody banded together and helped him, you know, with whatever they could, and to gain 2 miles an hour in a stock Subaru, and he was running back he was having the time of his life. It was amazing.
That is what this community is all about.
100%. And so I think, you know, we can find some opportunity out there for sure.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of people out there for sure. There's a blue fox body. His birthday's today, as a matter of fact. There's a prime example of a guy who started out 124 miles an hour and now is 134, and he's kind of creeping up on it, you know, in a car that is not historically known to hook up on no prep surfaces. So there's a lot of good opportunity for that, but I think we should do some good giveaways. I think we should do some of that live, and maybe have some opportunity for some people at home watching this weekend, because you're not going to want to miss it. This is the first time we've had, I would say, you know, TX2K GTR kind of royalty hanging out with me here on the live stream. So I'm excited to have Brooke and everyone, including Phil. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great time. You're not going to want to miss it at all. Don't forget, of course, all this is brought to you by Indiana Corn Marketing Council, First Farmers Bank and Trust. Did you guys go see that big green pig they have blown up over there? It's pretty awesome. Got to take a photo of that. I won't add any more to it, but yeah, the pig and I, we know each other. We've had photos, so it's fun. But nonetheless,
got some history.
A little history, good history, not bad history. Don't mind not in gutter. But anyway, it's a good photo op for sure. So if you're here, you want to do that, check out First Farmers Bank and Trust online if you would. They do a lot of support for us, and of course, Alina at Indiana Corn Marketing Council. Can't thank her enough for all her support over the years. She'll probably be joining us at some point tomorrow. Always excited for that. She does a arm drop and a giant, some kind of top kick thing she does every year. So Alina, if you're listening to me, hopefully you caught that. Can't wait. Talk about, ladies in motorsports. I can't wait to introduce you to super, super awesome deal. And so again, representing Indiana Corn Marketing Council, which is our title sponsor here. So, once again, led by a female in the lead. I think that's just super awesome. So
That is awesome.
But yeah, those are some of the things I would say, as I'm just continually chatting to keep the chat going. Those at home are like, as we're kind of winding down and getting everything ready for, testing, and so there's no bugs tomorrow when you tune in. Because, what can you tell our viewers at home what you're excited about for tomorrow and Sunday?
That's a tough one. Honestly, I'm looking out for AZ Cycle Parts, Mark Rao getting out there in his stow. I really want to see that record broken. I think that would be really cool. Besides that, I'm loving to see all of these women. I'm loving to see all these women out here.
And Phil.
For those of you that don't know at home, I know we've been making all these Phil jokes. Jimmy invited us here, and Mark, and I came along with some of my girlfriends, and it just so happened that one of my girlfriends had to bring their significant other because he had some FOMO. So it's a girls' weekend plus Phil.
And that's why we're calling it. And Phil's been a great sport, and I don't want Phil mad at me for the record, because let's just be real, Phil could take me to fight any day of the week. So Phil, I'm so glad you're here and that you brought all the ladies. How about that?
Round of applause for Phil.
Yes, right. Well, yes. Really appreciate that. And once again, here's a plug. So, right, Phil obviously has a fast GTR.
I think you mean Phil's wife has a fast GTR.
Well, they both have GTRs. Yeah, so both of them are GTR owners. Sorry, that's the one-armed bandit. That's Clint Sweet, oh so sweet. I would tell you why we nicknamed him the one-armed bandit, because what you don't know is he's going 180 miles an hour and he has one arm, and I'm being serious. And
wow, that was literal.
No, it's literal. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yep, he had sustained a pretty good sized injury, and so anyway, we Clint and his wife are just amazing, and so they've been coming out here for a long time, and I consider him a very close friend, and came up with a nickname, and he thought it was the best thing ever, and so we went with it. And so his nickname will always be Clint Sweet, the oh so sweet one-armed bandit, and for good reason. Just imagine piloting a Mustang with 1,000 horsepower with only one arm, right? So I'm super impressed by everything Clint has done, and he's just a good guy, and anyway, that's what you just saw on your screen, so I just wanted to chime in on that. But
incredible.
Once again, the diversity, right? Like, just so many different things going on.
There are. I am really also excited to see these bikes. It's not often that I get to see these bikes racing. These are probably the fastest bikes I've ever seen in person.
Yeah, and one of the ways that we were able to, I can't even talk. One of the ways we're actually able to bring this into everyone's living room, obviously Indiana Corn Marketing Council is such a big deal, and the diversity of all the different types of corn and what goes into the fuel, that's powering many of these cars out here is impressive. And of course, I can't say it enough. We're going to have a really good time tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss it, and if you do, then, well, I don't know what to say. You're going to miss out on a really good time. There's going to be a lot of world record attempts. There's already been, I think, a couple of records that have fallen today, just kind of sort of, we'll call this a practice day. But tomorrow, Brooke, it goes, it gets real, as I would say. And,
it's on.
It's on, like, well, I won't say it, but it's on. And you're not going to want to miss it for sure. And if you do, well, then you know what, you'll have to just ask around about how this all went, because it's going to get large, it's going to go huge, and we're going to be over here having a really good time. And we're looking forward to you being here, obviously, at the Indy Airstrip Attack. This is basically day one of 3 days. It's brought to you, of course, by the Indiana Corn Marketing Council, E85 and Unleaded 88. Can't say enough about how great unleaded and ethanol fuels are for everything, really, the environment, number one, and number two, how fast and how much power you can make on ethanol. You're going to want to check us out tomorrow for more half-mile racing action live on Facebook. First time on Instagram. How cool is that? YouTube and, of course, Twitch. Twitch is a pretty good... have you been on Twitch?
Twitch, yeah. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat. And, of course, today's broadcast and the entire weekend is brought to you, of course, and produced by Revolution. It's directed by none other than JeffreyJHart.com. And an Airstrip Attack is a revolution slash shift sector event. And of course, I'm sitting here with Brooke Barini and all the ladies and Phil. And we're going to bring you a real good party tomorrow and on Sunday. So just don't forget to look us up. It's really easy to find us. You're already there now, so if you're hearing us now, then you know how to find us tomorrow and the next day. There's going to be prizes, activities, and Brooke, what else we got?
I can't wait for those activities. I might have to compete myself.
Well, you're 5 Feet of Fury, so I can see that happening, right?
I don't know if anyone wants to foot race the 5 Feet of Fury, but I'm down for it.
I'm down. I can do that. Yep, I will
think we might have
challenge
to do
you.
it.
Yeah, we'll challenge. That's a high five. We're going to make that happen.
All right.
So. All right, so right here we got a few finals that are coming up. We're going to give you a little teaser on that as we kind of finish out for the day. Once again, Indiana Corn Marketing Council out here bringing everything live, unleaded 88, kind of wrapping it all together. Of course, our series title sponsor is AZ Cycle Parts, and Mark Rao is going for the record. You're not going to want to miss that. That's coming up tomorrow. We just had a chat with him, Brooke and I did, about some of those, what that looks like. And so it's going to be pretty epic. As a matter of fact, I got one right there sitting next to this Mustang. It looks like I got Kennedy Marlowe in this STO. That's a UGR built car, 211.3 best, although Kennedy's been 220. We're talking about females in motorsports. How great is this?
Absolutely.
So I'll pause here for a second before I close it out for the day. This is a finals runoff, by the way. Let's see what kind of mile an hour. Man, that car is bad fast. Mile an hour for Kennedy Marlowe STO coming up. 211.47 miles an hour. New best there. Gotta love that.
That's fast.
All right, so basically, here we are. Come see us tomorrow. Come see Brooke and I. I'm Jimmy Shaberg, and you are...
Brooke Barini.
That's right. Can't wait to see you tomorrow for some more half-mile airport racing. Of course, brought to you all by Indiana Corn Marketing Council, Unleaded 88, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're going to play a few more races, and we will see you tomorrow.